The following has adult themes and may have swearing. You have been warned.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi guys, Traffic 187 here. Welcome back. Everlasting Summer. I've been flagged that I don't have the, let's say, adult content flagged. All the heroines are 18 years old and they confirm their consent on participating in this game, blah, blah, blah. There was, there you are, a little disclaimer at the start. So happy reading. So I've switched that on now. So from now on, as the start of the video said, there was a warning about it being a bit adult orientated. And we can go back to day one, apparently.
Load game.
Please load game. You know, it's curious how the simplest human need can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. E.g., I feel hungry now, and I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in such case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I am not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism do I serve as a gear, society, matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were interrupted by a bell chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. A light pole? It must be dinner time. Oh, dinner call. I'd call it dinner time. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing that I now knew where it was. Olga, I'm not saying the surname, was there, standing on the porch. I see no one on the porch. Magically appeared. I stopped and looked closely at her, as if expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. Olga, Simon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. Guess nothing bad can happen if I come with her. My stomach backed me up there. Here, not there. Backed me up. Here. The two of us went inside. Oh, there's lots of people in this camp. We've seen barely no one, but at dinner time, look at them all. The canteen looked like, well, schoolroom to canteen? A canteen. I had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. This one was exactly the same, just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and on the floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Okay, let's have a closer look at the posters and see anything like hinting of what's going on. No. The light fittings look antiquated and, yeah, the speaker system. Oh well. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp is supposed to look like. Simon. I'm going to call him Simon for now on, because I'm not sure. Wait a moment, we'll find you a place to sit. She looks around the place. Oh my days. Yeah. Why don't, can they not just say Bob? Or Lisa? Or something. Hold on right there. Olga shouted at Eliza, who was passing by. Elisa. There you go. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with it? Yeah, you're kind of showing all your cleavage and you're tied up. Indeed, her attire looks somewhat provocative. Dun dun dun. Get your uniform nice and neat right now. Alright. There you go. Oh wow, look, no creases and everything. She's like ironed the top and everything. Elisa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me. Like she... what? So, where can we find you a place to sit? There weren't a lot of free seats. There's one right there, in front of us, to her, well, to our left, where the boy's sitting. But there's one. There's another one opposite him. There's loads of spaces. What's wrong with you? Go over there, to Yuana. Yuana? I might be getting it. I'm going to get the names wrong all the way through, guys, so just bear with me. Maybe yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table too. I had no other choice but to accept. In common Russia, koleta, cutlet, is minced meat, fried or baked in the shape of a ball or cylinder, close to American patties. Compote is a drink made from boiling fresh or dried fruit in a large amount of water. Compote in French. Compote in French. Of course, there was the probability that the cutlets were poisoned with correct. The mashed potatoes is generally seasoned with arsenic, and the glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of... oh, alright, okay. But it all looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist. Oh, it's that little one. Hey! What do you want? I replied rather rudely to Yuana, who was sitting next to me. Why didn't you play football with us? Because of my clothes, said I, pointing at the source of the problem. Oh, alright then, eat. Winky winky. However, there wasn't much left to eat. The cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could do it. No, more precisely, none but Yuana could do it. Give me back my cutlet. In a big family, you snooze, you lose. It can cost you a cutlet if you are careless. Give it back, I'm telling you. Attempt to take the cutlet. Yeah, let's do that. She's going to take her arm off. I looked menacingly at her. Menacingly. I will read it backwards. And was about to reach out my hand. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Yuana's plate was empty. It seemed that the little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlet. Take it easy, we'll work something out. She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. But about a minute later, Yuana returned and handed me the plate with a smoking hot cutlet on it. Here's one for the starving. Thanks. It was all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... oh no! What the? It's a bug. Not a bug. Insect. It's got legs and it's wiggling. The plate fell on the floor and broke into pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I disliked insects since I was I disliked insects since I was a child. But when these creepy crawlies appear on my plate, that's just way too much. You little... Yuana seemed ready for such a twist and was already at the door, laughing as she had just heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed to her. We ran out of the canteen. We were just a few dozen meters apart. I felt I would catch her, this little girl, easy. We ran through the square, past the clubhouse. I ran into the forest path. I started to gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking, I guess. Yuana passed out of sight on the next turn. Can't be true she managed to get away from me. It simply can't. I was standing trying to catch my breath. I was standing trying to catch my breath. The evening was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night. Better get back to the camp. However, I had no clue which way to go whatsoever. We gotta choose at random. I strayed for quite some time in the forest and even thought of crying for help, but finally I saw the camp's fence behind the trees. Everything falls back into place. The bus is gone, mumbled I quietly. I quietly mumbled, maybe. Mumbled I quietly, I did. On one hand, there was nothing strange about it. The bus couldn't stay there forever. On the other hand, it meant that there was someone driving, because buses do not drive themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it. An ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly the driver could have just been off for a snack, and I left too soon, and that's why. In any case, this is not the place for me. Whether that bus drives itself or not, an important question. But it was much more important how I had got here at all, and where this here was. The fields and the woods stretched towards the horizon had no answers. There was nothing familiar about them. A strange, odd, alien world. However, absolutely not frightening at the same time. Even my self-preservation instinct decided to resign from its job. All this running around the camp and local pioneers had lulled me so much with their carefree normality that I was sometimes simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple of hours ago. Although I probably just had no strength left to worry. All I wanted was some peace, calmness. I wanted to just have a break from it all, and only after that I would continue looking for answers, ready and reloaded. However, that would be some time later. And what about now? Can I let myself to relax? It got completely dark. Were you just hanging around the square, widow? And in any case, it was better to spend the night in the camp. Now, he's not had... but keep in mind, guys, he's not had dinner at this point. He literally just sped after her because that little wormy thing, centipede, was under his plate. So he's not had anything to eat. I was about to head back when someone came silently from behind. Hello. What are you doing here so late? Someone. It was Savia standing before me. I was so surprised that I got a seizure. What? So you haven't caught Joanna, have you? She smiled. I nodded disappointedly and sighed. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. She could have found a better use of her energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have dinner after all. See, look, I'm addressing the situation before it happens. I'll try not to do that in future. Indeed, I completely forgot about hunger. But after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. Savannah smiled. Savannah? Sylvia. Savannah. I don't know. Let's go then. What? Is the canteen still open? It's alright. I have the keys. Yay! The keys? Yes. I have keys to all the facilities in the camp. How come? Well, I'm something like the camp leader's aide here. I see. Well, let's go. It wasn't an offer you can refuse. When we reached the square, Savia stopped in her tracks. You go on to the canteen, and I'll come in a minute. Alright? Alright. I really did not expect that at such a late hour someone would be there besides me, and that somebody was apparently hopelessly trying to open the door. Without any secret fault, I walked up onto the porch. The lockpicker turned out to be Elisa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while and then said, "Don't just stand there. Give me a hand or something." Meaning? "Help me open the door." Why? "Because I want some buns with kurfa. The dinner wasn't enough." Is it really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Joanna didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. It's true, she didn't. It's fine. Savannah will come now and... What? Guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. You owe me 2 already. What? Having said that, Elisa disappeared into the night. And what was the first one for? Salvia didn't keep me waiting for too long. Savannah. Oh, I wish I could say these names. Is everything fine? Simon. Yeah, why are you asking? No reason. It's nothing. It was better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. Everything's fine. I said that and instantly heard a trace of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for... let's get this right. Sylvia. I'm going to say Sylvia. That's the closest thing I can think of. She seemed not to have noticed anything. Or at least she was pretending she didn't. We entered the canteen. That's nice and neat now. Wow, the tiles are really shiny. Wait a bit. I'll go get something. I sat down on the chair and obediently waited for my Savorous. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kurfa. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished off everything. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Sylvia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. She looks worried at him. Is there something on my face? No, just... She smiled. So how did you like your first day in the camp? Oh, I don't really know. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or the assigned hut. It's alright. You'll soon get used. Used? I wonder if they meant used to it. You'll soon get used. Sylvia started to stare. Sylvia stared into the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least, she wants me to think that she doesn't know. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I had to somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So how? She looked at me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Oh, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yes. I love it here. It's great. Then you don't need to worry about what other people think. Well, I don't really worry. Sylvia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get. And you're worried yourself. Really? Why? Well, when someone is chewing so intensely, I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't force myself to be more careful with this girl. But why exactly her? With any local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal it sends chills down the spine. And to the marrow. Wow. Not normal. Normal. Not like a neighbour human with power drill. Not like a neighbour human with the power drill in the one hand and the subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger human you can often meet in the subway or public transport. Not like a co-worker human next table in the open plan office. Not even like the friend human who only differs from the other humans in his constant insistence. What? All of them looked normal, as I would expect them to be, with their own downsides, but without any superpowers. Okay, and Sylvia was also cute. I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp, but ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while being on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so hard that I had to cast my eyes down in the confusion. Well, how could I know? It's the first day I'm here. Okay. It's a weird way, isn't it? And what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field. What about the beach? Just from afar. You should really go there, or let's do it together. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange just for me, but for them it is native. Maybe I got thrown into the past. Yes, this would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. Sylvia smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Late? Will you find the way to Olga's by yourself? Of course, I will, but why should I go there? She'll settle you with someone. What for? Sorry, bear with me. There we are. What for? Probably this question seems stupid, because Sylvia burst into good laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll go then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left me in such a hurry. A key bundle left in the door lock caught my attention. I was going to catch up with Sylvia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night didn't sound like a bright idea. Let's take the keys. I'd better take them. We'll give them back tomorrow, because who knows what will happen here at night. Such thoughts gave me a chill. What? It is me who needs to be careful here in the first place. The night, though being dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear the chirping crickets, song of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. Sudden desire to follow Sylvia's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin had appeared. I don't know why, but the look of the unknown bronze builder of the communist put me into into constructive mood. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here was much brighter than the canteen. Belated pioneers were running by, so this place did not seem scary at all. Bus summer camp girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that could not come up with a single explanation of what was going on here. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby.